Let's start by talking about playing goalie as the last line of defense. Is that a lot of pressure? I mean, do you feel it coming down on your shoulders when somebody's bearing down on you?
Sometimes. As a goalie, I personally take responsibility for that, though. I mean, I know what I got myself into when I wanted to be a goalie. I felt like I could handle the pressure more than maybe some, and so that's kind of why I chose to be a goalie in the first place.
What was that like? At what point did you say, man, I want to be in the pipes, I want to be the dude?
I think it was like at a club practice when I was maybe 12 years old, and we only had one goalie on the team at a time, so we needed somebody else to play goalie at practice, and I was just the crazy enough one to say I'll do it, and then I kind of got good at it from there.
And still crazy after all these years? Is that?
Yeah, that's kind of a thing. Goalies tend to be kind of a crazy breed, kind of known as kind of the weird people on the team. But
well, tell me about this, because it's a strange athletic position in some ways, because you have lots of periods of inactivity followed by flurries of activity, and your total involvement directly in the match may only last a few seconds. Is it tough to stay in mentally?
Not always. You're always talking to your defense. Whether if I have one save a game or 20, regardless, I'll still be yelling at the defenders, telling them what way to go and where to do, kind of what to do. So it's always you always got to kind of stay connected that way. If you're not getting a lot of shots or anything, it's always good to keep communication and stay mentally focused that way.
Yeah, and Erin Christensen was talking in our first halftime interview about that communication as a defender, how her goalkeeper has to communicate with her. Tell me about what you do and what you're seeing and what you're talking to those defenders about.
Basically, just making sure that they're all on the same page. If there's any forwards coming making runs, I yell at them, let them know where the forward's headed, whether it be Zig or Bo, the two center backs, or an outside back if I don't want the defender to get across in from the outside. Tell them to contain or defend or push them one way or the other to try and make sure that the offense can't score.
Well, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to ask for your response as nicely as you can, but at times do you have to be forceful? Do you have to get on them a little bit, or is it all just, please move to your left? It's probably not like that, I wouldn't think.
No, it's pretty forceful at times, yeah. I have to get onto them, especially if they're not doing their job right. I'll get onto them and let them know that they're not doing it right. And I mean, at this level of play, most of them, they know if they messed up. So I'll still get onto them, but they already know what they've done.
Shane, 3 road trips for games. Now you get to play at home. What's the difference playing on this field as opposed to playing on the road?
We've put on 2 grass fields that we are not really used to, both different kind of grass fields. So it was definitely a disadvantage to us as opposed to the other team who is used to playing on it. So now we're on our own turf, and we'll be used to the level of play and how the ball will be moved, and we can get our touchdown, because that was kind of a problem in a couple of those games with the grass fields.
How about for you personally? In soccer, there's always that worn spot in the goal where you need to stand. And on a grass field, I imagine it gets wet, muddy, and it's harder. Is that true? Is it tougher to play for you on grass?
It depends. If it's a nice grass field, I love grass. It doesn't cut me up as much as turf does. I get kind of torn up with turf burn. But it depends. Like some grass fields are really nice. Some grass fields aren't so nice. So the grass fields that aren't so nice, that are kind of bumpy and maybe dirty, have a bunch of dirt in the box. I'd much rather be on turf at those games, but otherwise, if it's a really nice grass field, I'd like to be on grass.
What is your favorite part about being a goaltender? I mean, what part do you enjoy the best in a game? Somebody driving at you, defending against a penalty shot? Just what do you really enjoy?
I'd say being the opportunity to be the hero of the game. I get to make saves that I can potentially save the whole game, potentially keep the whole team in it, and boost everybody's confidence with one action that I do. So that's what I like, yeah.
Tell us where you're from, and tell us a little bit about your family, if you would, please.
I was born and raised Kansas City, right there by Zona Rosa. I went to Park Hill. Got my mom and dad. They'll come to the games this weekend. They came to the games in Oklahoma and Kansas as well. And then I have a younger brother this is his first year in college, so he's doing well with that.
Right.
Very supportive of what I do, and always come to games if they can.
What do you want to do with your career after you're done with college? Where do you see yourself ending up?
I'm not entirely sure. I just interviewed for a sporting internship for this coming spring with my business and rec and sport minor. So trying to do something in the sports field, and we'll see where that goes, where that internship can lead.
Finally, your years at Jewell, what's been your best memory?
Oh, best memory at Jewell. I don't know, just meeting everybody that I know now. It's definitely a unique place where the group of people that you meet, you can all get really close and form really good friendships with the people that are here.